We're gonna do the dance pop. Ready? All right, let's go. Oh,
Feel like I want to grab one of those like techno light cubes and
yeah, a little glow stick. Yeah,
like glow sticks. Yeah, that's what I mean.
yeah.
You know what I said light tube. The glow sticks like
Let's see what feeding the ducks is. That's what this is called. Feeding the ducks.
eating the ducks.
Feeding.
Okay.
Yo.
With some old Kenny G mixed with Lionel Richie or something.
Yeah.
Easy. It's one of those songs that you see a girl from across and then you start pointing and bring her to you like.
Yeah, you gotta feed that duck.
You gotta push like.
Ah, you gotta feed that duck. That's what you gotta do. Woo! Okay.
Oh, he's a little. I might record an album to that.
Right? Listen, I was trying to think of some bars. I couldn't do it. Welcome into a silly little intro.
Welcome into football.
You got there Jermaine. You got the Nun. You got Pennywise. All the hoses here.
Yeah, your Halloween background is excellent. I mean, it's got Pennywise and like the Nun is his wife off to the right hand side. And hey, I got a scary background, everyone. Please don't hate me for doing this. Represent Tyler Law, but at the same time, it's a Patriots jersey. I never get to wear it because I'm not gonna wear it around here.
One of the best corners to play the game. So
yeah, but I mean, after I put it on, I felt dirty. It's like
you should.
Like my taste buds, I started tasting shit. I'm like, oh.
I kind of feel like that when I throw the Ray Ray on. I'm like,
like And then this Steeler background. As soon as I sat like on the cover, it felt like I was a piece of bacon on a frying pan. Like I started sizzling and shit. I'm like, oh. On this Steeler background with this Patriots jersey.
your O legitimately sounded like Dave Chappelle's O. Well, fully, absolutely.
Use it. Oh. Yeah. But yeah, welcome into a post-Halloween edition of Football. We are still in the spirit.
As long as I can, because God knows this wife of mine was already banging the Christmas jams. I'm like, God bless America, man. Come on, stop.
Yeah, I bet yesterday the stores are out. I mean, soon as Halloween's over.
We went shopping a little bit today. We went to get some stuff. I was kind of busy. Like we left out about 9, then we did like grocery shopping afterwards. I didn't get home till 3. The bad thing is I had to take a shit since like 10:30. I'm like, oh God, no. It was one of those ones that hurt your belly too. You're like spasming. I'm like, yo, I am miserable for the next 4.5 hours. I was yelling at people in the parking lot, being that guy, which I'm normally that guy, but like even more, I actually had like a reason this time. I'm like,
yeah. But sometimes you take those shits that, like you said, they hurt. Like, I mean, like, just like your body inside, it's like you almost got to rest for a while. Like, let me lay down for a while.
So I ate rice for lunch yesterday, right? I was busy, man. I didn't have like, I had time, but like I take a nap for every lunch now. That's what I do. And we didn't really have anything that was like super readily accessible to make. So I'm like, let's just do rice. Fine, it's fine. So I did that,
Okay.
and then pretty much right after work, I kind of left out, and I didn't eat when I was out. So came home, went to bed, woke up. I'm like, dude, I'm so goddamn hungry. So I went and got like a Donald's breakfast, and I'm like, yeah, all right. Then the wife was like, hey,
McDonald's.
yeah. And then your wife, then the wife was like, hey, you're coming with me. I'm like, sorry, what now? Okay. I'm like, fine. Okay, cool. Then 10:30 hit. I'm like, fuck, mistakes were made.
Yeah.
And yeah. So she's like, well, Aldi has a bathroom. I'm like, bitch, are you crazy? What is wrong with you? I am classy. We have a tax bracket. No, I'm not doing that. No.
Hey, my body doesn't allow me. I mean, I have to, even in public places, man. I mean, if I can avoid it, I try. But if I can't, I'm not going in my pants. So I'm not one of those people that can hold it really long. It's like, ooh, man, I'll start sweating, getting all hot and shit. And then eventually I can't even talk. And then it's just like, man, I got.
We'll discuss that later. That seems like more of a medical issue. Yeah, I try to take a poop in every state I go to. It's like a thing I've adopted.
Like leaving your mark. You like a animal to go in their territory and they mark it up. You know,
yeah,
spray it up.
I skid mark my my territory. Yeah, totally.
But yeah, McDonald's is a laxative. Any lunch, breakfast. I mean, the breakfast is probably the best thing that they have to offer. But even that will eventually put you on the toilet a little later after you eat it.
It was good though. I mean, not like the poop was good, but like the food was
the food. Yeah, McDonald's breakfast is pretty
fire.
Decent.
It is.
Yeah,
legendary.
Decent. Yeah. McDonald's.
They use the best of crack there. Like come like dinner time, they use like the sea level crack, but like AM, it's fresh off the garden crack. It's great.
Yeah, it's just rightly it's freshly
just picked,
freshly brewed,
brewed crack.
Yeah. But it will put you on that toilet.
Get here? Anywho,
I don't even know. We're supposed to be doing a football show, and next thing you know, we're doing. Well,
that's a little taste of what we do on the X's and O's, and actually, it's actually pretty funny.
That's all, at first, I was like, "Is we on the X's?" Because we just kept going, and then I was just like, "Hold on,
it's fine. It's fine." I uploaded a bunch of shorts today. So folks know, this is kind of what the schedule is going to be. We're not going to be recording on Saturdays. I obviously had stuff to do yesterday, so fine. We're going to have our second football show on Fridays. So then on Saturday, you have the actual opportunity and time to hear the whole show before football starts.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I get it. No one's waking up and dying to hear our dumbasses talk it.
Take
whatever
Sunday morning.
Right, you got your own things you got to get going on. You got to like pacify the wife so she leaves you the fuck alone so you can watch Red Zone all day and all that. That's a whole thing. I get it, but that's why we kind of decided, hey, Fridays is a better idea. Are we going to have the most up to date news? No. If there's game time decision things on Saturday, look, pay attention, man. I don't have to tell you. But
still on Saturday, you can pop us on and get whatever chores that you need to get done and get your football spiff and news from our spin. And
I'm not sure what a spiff is, sir.
I'm not either, but I just threw it out there.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm not mad at it. But yeah, so Saturday we're going to upload the full show. Basically, Fridays and Saturdays are going to be when a lot of the shorts go up to, like throughout the week. So I'm just pumping out content left and right. But funny enough, one of the shorts that I uploaded yesterday, it just ended up happening, or today, I mean, it just ended up happening to be like a super perfect explanation of what this show actually is. It just summarizes it in a nice little nutshell. I really enjoyed it. So, that's all on the channel. If you're listening here, you're obviously aware of where to get that stuff. Patreon down below me, below my two friendos on my left, and then there's my face and the name and the thing. Go there for questions and things like that. We are going to record. We are going to record the Patreon episode next Saturday, if that's cool with you. It'll be a quick, probably a half-hour thing. It's going to be strictly audio because apparently you can't. Oh, how's that going to work? I'll figure it out. Yeah, apparently you need to have a certain level of subscribers for Patreon to do video. Whatever, fine, great, wonderful. I don't care. Well, actually, no. That is I don't know. I'll figure it out. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it'll be on there. So that'll be the kind of redraft, based on current ADP of these fantasy players that have been doing all the things we didn't expect them to do, which is exactly how football works because there is no algorithm. And God doesn't like football happiness sometimes. So, to get into all the fun things, there's a bunch of news, bunch of outs and ins and outs and ins and ins and outs. And we're getting sexy here.
Wow. Say you turn this and putting an X in front of it and a couple X's in there.
Yeah.
Outs and ins and outs.
Gotta feed them ducks, baby.
Feed the ducks.
Feed them ducks. So, Travis Etienne Jr., you are maybe back. How ambiguous. How beautifully ambiguous. Cool. The whole team is dead over there. So at this point, they're like, okay, look, do you have two legs? Word? Great. Go play. Go do it.
Oh, did you see that sleeper little bullet that came through like a couple hours ago that said the Steelers were in talks with trying to acquire Christian Kirk before he broke his collarbone or something like that? And I'm like, I think they didn't make that deal.
I must have missed that, but that's two bullets dodged via injury.
Yeah, yeah, man. Ayuk. But yeah, they said the Steelers were in heavy talks with trying to trade Jacksonville for Christian Kirk. I mean, I see it. I mean, he would have fit in because you don't want, someone that's just a speedy receiver. We already got George Pickens to take the top off the coverage. We need an intermediate route kind of guy that's like
our dirty little slot.
Yep. Wow. He would have fit in well. Yeah, that would have been great. He said it's dirty slot, not dirty slut.
Dirty little slot. Yeah.
But he broke his collarbone, so
yeah, well,
crisis averted.
God has a plan. That was not it. Bryce Young. Cool. You're playing football. I'm sorry, Carolina. I'm so sorry. Derek Carr. We're getting back in the car this week. So he's back under center. I think that upgrades everybody. Running backs, Taysom Hill, the one wide receiver that's not dead. So that's cool. So good luck, Olave, and whoever else is there. But I would say probably Taysom Hill's a pretty solid play because they love to put him all around. He's like the utility knife of that team. So
is he finally over his injuries? Because every time I looked and checked him out, it was like he's dealing with some type of injury.
Yeah, he played last week. He probably would have played more if Carr was in, but they had, Rattlesnake in there, doing rattlesnake things. I don't know what a rattlesnake sounds like. I'm sorry.
I don't know. When Taysom Hill first hit the league and he was in with Drew Brees, I thought eventually he was going to become the franchise quarterback. I never knew that
They tried.
They did?
They tried.
Oh, to say, I don't. They gave him a shot to really just play the whole time. Okay.
After they gave him the bag, he was dog shit. They're like, oh no.
I didn't think he was going to be a gadget player his whole life. I thought he was eventually going to be the quarterback. Yeah, I think they did give him a try. Yeah, a couple of weeks, and he was just totally inaccurate. Yeah,
right. Like, and that's kind of the thing. I mean, he is I think he's a gadget player plus, right? Like when I think of a gadget player, I kind of think of like how we use Claypool. Like when we actually use Claypool, not like the years after. Like he was doing jet sweeps, he was doing, weird little kind of routes and things like that. Taysom has that ability. Plus, he can line up under center. And generally speaking, he's usually going to rush it, and you're going to rush it, and they're like, "Shit, he rushed it." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Why don't you stop it?" I don't know what to do.
You know what's going to happen. Can you stop it? Yeah. And
But he can
Taysom's a
still
tough.
check it though too, and that's the other caveat there. Like he's like his own little he has his own little halfback pass kind of go gadget button to press. So it's like he's I can't think I don't think I can consider him a gadget player. I just think he is a jack of all trades and master of none.
Master of none. Yeah, and he's a tough son of a gun too, because he'll run you over. I done seen Taysom run quite a few people over. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. You got that big dick energy on that squad. He's like, like he broke his ribs and he came back like 2 weeks later, like, it's fine, don't worry about it. Everything. he definitely did. He did the guy thing. He was like, fuck it, let me just kind of. There we go. We're all set.
He said,
probably.
"I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
It's fine. Put some Gatorade on it. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Put some tussin on it."
Yeah, throw some tussin on it. Yes, sir. Some of that Vicks, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everyone in Nolans is gonna definitely benefit from Carr being back, and that's weird because Carr's fucking terrible too. But
he's better than what they had. I mean,
right?
Definitely experienced worse than terrible. So
right,
they welcome back terrible.
At this point, you're the second thinnest guy in fat camp. Like that's what we're dealing with. Like Rattler was the fat, was the thin, was the like that. That's what we're dealing with. Like would you rather drown or die like on fire? Like that's what you're looking at here. So at least with Carr, he has something. That whole franchise is. It just feels like it's doomed. Like after Drew Brees left,
it hasn't been the same. Yep.
Oh man, we're gonna start calling them the New Orleans Pirates. Oof. So Lazard went on the IR. Cool. Yeah. I mean that does suck for the Jets because he did have that connection, but really I don't like having Rodgers have any joy at all. Like if
speaking of that, after you give us the news, we gotta discuss that game. It did happen Thursday. It was a Halloween game.
Ooh, spooky.
What did you learn from that game that you didn't know prior?
I mean, we could talk. I mean, since we're at Lazard, let's hit the game. Then we'll finish the news after that.
Yeah.
So, well, I definitely called my shot on Stroud and knocked that one out of the park. I called Mixon. Yeah, that hit. Brees didn't do as much as I thought he was going to do.
Yeah, that was weird. That was odd.
But I mean, I think Rodgers had 14 yards at halftime, which is hilarious.
It was looking terrible. Somehow in the second half, he was able to pull together 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
no picks. Garrett Wilson went off. I played against him in another league. I was so pissed.
Wonderful.
Especially we caught that one-hander. I'm like, man, that touchdown is out, even though it was a great catch. In the back of my mind, I'm like, man, that was a great catch. But my fantasy took over and was like, fuck that catch.
Pretty much. Yep. Yeah. I mean, Tank had a game, but there was nobody else there. So it's like Tank and Mixon.
For those of you that took a flyer out on Xavier Hutchinson, I know you're the guy I'm playing this week. He had Xavier Hutchinson bagel. This dude got nothing. I didn't see him get nothing.
Yeah.
Golly, not even a point. One target, 0. No, I think he had 3 targets, 0 points, no catches, nothing.
And look, once again, I'm not saying the Jets defense is elite. It really was more of me saying Stroud against a good defense does not mix. It doesn't go well.
Yeah.
I guess he can do. All it does is mixing. It doesn't mix, but it mixing.
It mixins. Yeah. Stroud, I mean, I guess that proves it. And like you said, I mean, a lot of the people in the fantasy show, they said whenever he play, he can beat up on the sorry defenses. But when he plays a defense that's pretty stout, and they don't even have to be the best, they could just be formidable, and he's gonna struggle. And I've said on the pause that I thought the Jets defense was trash. But I mean, you still see, did you not see Sauce Gardner still getting beat? I'm telling you, Sauce Gardner's not as elite as he was, last year. It's like he's getting beat left and right, holding all the time.
We're gonna rename him Cream Gardner because like he's a little bit looser than Sauce. Like he's a creme. He's creme Gardner.
Yeah, he's not as good as he was. But the Jets defense, if you did play him in fantasy, they did score. They were okay. They did do a serviceable job. But yeah,
and
those of you that started Stroud, you're pissed.
Yeah, I mean, in the ESPN league I'm in, I actually I'm kind of Houston heavy. I got Stroud, Tank, and Dalton Schultz. I picked up Gesicki to play him because Higgins is out, and I played Stafford, and I think I put in Josh Downs now because Flacco's in. So I sat all of the Houston guys. I'm like, I'm not playing that game. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I had Tank in another league, and I was glad he went off, but he didn't get a touchdown. I mean, he got a lot of yards, but he didn't get a touchdown.
He was like a what, $136 or something like that? Something
like $146 or something like that. Yeah, he had a decent game. Definitely. Just like 21 fantasy points or something like that. But yeah, I mean, you said Downs. Downs is gonna eat that like Thanksgiving. Like, you ever had that fat person that sit down and they put their elbows on the table and they eat everything. Like Downs is gonna eat like that.
They sit down at the table, you're like, oh shit, it just got real.
Right?
They came here with a goal in mind.
And you see they sit down and like they got elbow room, like there's nobody close to them and they can just grab anything they want. Yes. That's gonna be Josh Downs now that Flacco is taking over. Josh Downs is gonna eat anything he wants.
Yeah, and he should. And I don't know. I took a flyer out back for Adonai Mitchell just on my bench just to kind of see, now that this
Flacco make him come to life.
Right.
Yeah.
He loves going downfield, and so does Mitchell. So it's kind of like, I mean, I don't have the fortitude to play him unless I was really desperate. But
put it this way: if Michael Pittman wasn't there, and I would be all in on Adonai Mitchell because it's like, okay, Downs and then him, But because Pittman's there, that's another mouth to feed. Still don't know. Still don't know for sure. So, but Flacco should open them all up. I mean, just like Jameis is doing with the Browns. I mean, he's opening them.
Yep.
Yeah, opening everybody up, and just like we talked about Tua, how he opened up everybody in Miami. So. Good quarterback play makes everybody around them play well because the defense can't dictate what you're doing. Defense can't sit on top of your players. They don't know what's happening just as much as, the fans know what happened. It's like, okay, the defense is like, all right, so what are they going to do now? But when you got that shitty quarterback, it's like, okay, let's take your running back out of the game. Make him beat us. Most of the time they can't.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of the game was, at least the first half was kind of what you sort of expected.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
How about that? You see that play where the kid ran around the end and he scored a touchdown and then dropped the ball before he even
Yeah,
got in the end zone. I'm like, what? First
yeah.
of all, if it's my first NFL touchdown, I'm not giving up. I'm escaping that ball. I want to sign. I mean, when you score your first touchdown in the NFL, most of the time that's a pretty special ball. So I would have held on to it just from that principle. But I mean, how you get to the end, towards the end zone, you don't even have the presence or the consciousness to see that you're not across the plane. Like you just really dropped it before you got in.
Because these kids want to have that, that swag moment. They want to have, and it's like, cool. Now you're going to be on the practice squad, just so you know, so you know what happened. Now, like, have fun. Like
And then I can see if he was like a regular staple of the offense. He was somebody you never even heard of until last night, or no, what's today? Thursday night. No one even heard of him. He's not a part of the offense. It should have been even more special for you to keep that ball. Like you're not a part of the offense. You're an extra that comes in every once in a while. You're an extra in a movie that's standing there and got stabbed by Michael Myers or something. Like you're not a star. You don't have the luxury to just treat the ball like that as if you're going to be like, I'll be back. I'm going to score
here's
a
what
ton
happens:
more.
you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. There you go. That's what happens. So
Now he's never going to see it.
right,
Never going to see the ball.
Well,
If they would have lost, guess what they was going to be blaming?
oh,
I would have been
God,
so glad if they won.
like just for that, I wish they would have lost, just so he could, like, because it's so dumb, so dumb. All right, speaking. Well, this actually isn't dumb. This is actually happy. Back to the news here. Are we good about that game? Are we all set? Or you have any
Yeah, we good. Yep, that was pretty much it. That summarized everything.
Tracy, and it's funny because you said the inverse was going to happen here. Tracy's in. Didn't see that coming.
Me either. Most time you get a concussion, it's a minimum 1 week.
Yeah.
He rushed through the protocol. I'm like,
he really did, and you just kind of wonder how severe it actually was. It can't. I mean, it had to have been a super mild thing. Or
when I saw the play, I didn't think he had a concussion. I think because it was a play where Cam Hayward picked him up and pretty much drove him into the ground. I think he was just so hurt from Cam that he thought his head was cracked too. Because Cam landed on top of him like, man, stop running. Like he gave him that, man, if you don't if you don't sit your fucking ass down, I'm going to body slam you next time. And pretty much he was like, okay, I'm out of the game. I'm concussed.
All set. And that was great news for me because I got Tracy. I was like, hey, let's go.
Starting back for the rest of the year.
Yeah. And next piece of news is super fun. Fucking Higgins is out again. Awesome. And that actually why that worked out, because that happened. And then the next day I found out Tracy was in. I'm like, well, there we go. I'm just going to swap those players.
Yeah, you're not voided a spot, but still, Higgins.
God, what a bust, man. What a bust.
Cincinnati pretty much, now they hold all the cards because remember at the beginning of the season, Higgins and Chase wanted to get paid. Yep. Cincinnati made the right call and was like, we're not paying you. Nope. At least with Chase, at least he's fucking there. Dang, I mean, Higgins ain't there half the time. I mean, why would you pay him? Higgins is gone, of course, and they're going to put all their money. They're going to give Chase his, Justin Jefferson money he wants, and they're going to. I mean, they've been getting through with games, getting by with games without Higgins. So, what would make them not think that they can't do the same or draft a receiver and just go roll with Chase?
I mean, yeah, they're gonna have to do something in the offseason to figure that out because, Higgins, you're just such a disappointment. Like I was so excited. I'm like, I usually don't touch anybody from Cincinnati. I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. I was like, all right, I'll take a chance here and This guy has been my Eckler of last year. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So disappointing.
And it's not like whenever he plays, you get goose eggs. I mean, when he plays,
No,
he's
not
productive.
at all. When he's there, he's super productive. Super.
Is he there? Is he
just
there?
Right. He is literally a weekend dad that like skips every few weekends to like go bang his girlfriend. It's terrible.
Instead of weekend dad.
God, it's frustrating. So in more Cincinnati news, Moss is out. Probably he's doubtful. He's probably out. So Brown will get all that play. Welcome back, Hawkinson. So all those
forward to that.
All those that were sitting and waiting around that put him on your IR, and somehow or another you were able to keep him on your IR and not have to throw four of the players in there.
Yeah,
perfect for you. Have fun with that.
I mean, this week I think he's gonna be on a snap count or something. But in our league, his whatever snaps he get is good enough. I mean, as long as he get a couple, I mean, I'm not expecting too much out of tight end. And plus, it was like perfect timing because Kittle went on the bye, and I'm like, ooh, I have no other tight end to put in. And then as soon as I found out he was playing, I'm like, okay, that solves my problem. I'm not going to go out and go get another tight end just to do it. Nope.
DK is out, so whatever.
Seattle is their offense. Who is their offense without him? Like who?
Ken what?
We seen K9. He didn't do too much, and I don't know.
It starts and stops there. Everyone else is just not there.
Yeah.
Love is in, so that is helpful for everybody in Green Bay. I don't know how effective he's going to be because I feel like he's really, really, really pushing to play. I mean,
yeah. I definitely think he should sit this one out. I mean, he's letting the matchup like kind of dictate the rest. I mean, instead of it lingering on and continuing to linger throughout just sit 1 week and just get yourself right. But he's been rushing back the whole year. So I mean, injury he had against the against the Eagles, they said it was a 4-week injury. He comes back in 2. I mean, he's been rushing back the whole year. So I don't know, man.
At the end of the day, this might be one of those really boring running games. Jalen Reed kind of, weird little jet sweep play kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't know if he's really going to be dropping back too much. So we'll see. Drake May is in. That was kind of another concussion that was not a concussion. That apparently was not a concussion. So concussion. So that's cool. Juju is out. Inconsequential. Everyone's peckers got real big for his 1 week that he has produced in 2 years. So it's like, okay. Interesting thing in Dallas, but the whole Dallas experience has been silly. Zeke is sitting in place of Delvin Cook. Okay. Awesome. So,
well, they said Dowdle's your 1A. I mean, and they said that Zeke, it was personal or disciplinary reasons. They said that he didn't even make the trip or something. I'm like, what did he do? I don't know if he had a fit or he snapped in practice or he did something, but somehow he's not even traveling with the team for some type of disciplinary reason. So it's going to be Dalvin Cook and Dowdle, but I would play Dowdle.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not a fun play, but it is a play. It is a warm body, so we'll do that. As a Dowdle owner, I'm like, oh god, okay.
Yeah, I got him in another league myself, and I'm like, okay, my choice is Mostert, Dowdle, or Rachaad White, and I'm like, okay, Rachaad White's playing in Kansas City's defense hasn't allowed more than 50 yards rushing all year. But he's like more of an out of the backfield. So I'm like, who would you choose of those 3? Dowdle, Mostert, or Rachaad White? And
Dallas.
Right now, I got Dowdle in there. Yeah.
The Falcons. Mostert is
against Buffalo, but he's the second back. He's not the starter.
Right.
And
Yeah,
Rashad
you
White,
kind of have to go with the starter, man. And yeah, Rashad White and Bucky. Ugh,
yeah.
ugh, gross. Well, speaking of matchups here, we got 1, 2, 3, and 2 to 4. Okay, I'm sorry, 5, 6. All right, we got six matchups to go through. Then we'll get you out of here and get you all prepped up for tomorrow and all the fun stuff. So, Jaguars at Eagles. Philly minus 7.5, over under of 45.5. This is probably going to be a bloodbath. I'm almost the funny thing is I'm almost hesitant to play anybody for Philly. Just from the standpoint of like they don't really seem like the statement type of team. You know, they're not really the run up the score
No,
type of team. Like
but
how much are
just
they
to get this
really
score up,
doing?
like they're
Yeah.
not gonna just run it. I mean, Philly is one of them teams that they hurry up and they get up on you real quick and then they bleed out the clock. So
Yeah.
I don't imagine them. They're gonna use their weapons on the outside. They're gonna use AJ Brown. They're gonna use Devontae Smith. And then when they
Yeah.
get that nice 2 touchdown lead, then it's welcome my
Yeah.
friend back here in the backfield, Saquon, and he's gonna run all
Yeah.
over your heads. And stomp on your kids' heads at that as well.
Sure
Um,
is.
So
Sure is.
I see this game being, on its way to being over at halftime. By the third
Yeah.
quarter, it's going to be completely out of reach. And
You're gonna hear shout
by the
call
fourth
say
quarter, they
brutality.
might even start putting in the game rail,
That's
dude. Just to
you may see Kenny Pickett in this game. I'm just saying. That's how you know they're confident and they're winning. They put Kenny fucking Pickett in there.
Yeah.
That's probably the one and only time you're going to hear his dumbass name this year on this podcast. So there you go. There's your one. Jaguars, dude. I don't know, man. They got a medical tent for their backfield, and they're I don't know what they're going to do.
He said the whole team, they put the medical tent over it's like through the whole organization, just throw a blue medical tent over
when
the
they
whole
come in
organization.
They come in from the locker room. They actually have to come in, and there's like a blue tent that just follows them, like one of those, like how China has like that dragon that those parades with those big dragon.
Yeah. With the
it's just gonna be a blue tent. That's what they're gonna do.
Like after all the players come out, they just gonna be in a tent, like in a blue tent, all of them.
Yeah, I absolutely have no shares of anybody in Jacksonville for this reason. Never had them at all this year for this reason. I mean Ingram,
yeah,
but
he's gonna
again,
get volume. He's a paper cut you to death person, so he's gonna get the volume. My dumbass drafted ETN in a couple leagues, and I don't even have him close to starting. I don't even want to deal with it. So I'm just benching him.
They're saying Brian Robinson Jr. is a game time decision too. Then I heard something about I think what's his name behind him, behind ETN. What's his name?
Bigsby.
I heard something about him being a game time decision too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep.
Dude,
both of them.
What the fuck is happening over there? So I don't know, man. I'm nervous to start the Eagles, but yeah, you're right. Someone has to score some points. I mean, luckily I got Jalen and I got Devonta, so it's like, all right, great, but how much is Devonta gonna get? Is it?
Well, you're hoping for a similar game to last week, where Jalen was getting all his touchdowns, push touchdowns, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
That helps. I mean, if he gets the vast majority of it, and Smith doesn't do too much, but Hurts overperforms, and it's a wash. So that's okay. I just don't want them to underperform because I can see Barkley touching this ball 30 times this game easily. Like, that's a ton. I get it. That's like Derrick Henry back in the day numbers. I get it, but
just don't
this
see
is
Jacksonville making it competitive. It's like
it's gonna be a buy game. That's what it is. And I know it's like it's like, oh, it could be a trap. I'm like, for what, mother? Like, for what? What is being trapped?
what
Like, get outta here.
miracle is gonna? I mean, like what player is gonna fall out of the sky that's gonna somehow get it done for Jacksonville? I
Yeah,
just don't
you know,
see it. I mean,
resurrect Fred
but
Taylor
watch
and
what
Mark
we know.
Brunell.
Jacksonville will go in there and blow the doors off the room. You never know. But
Yeah,
I don't see it.
Zero, man, zero chance. Next game here, battle of running quarterbacks here. It is the Bears against the Cardinals. Arizona is the home favorite for, let me see, 1.5 points. They're getting that, and the over under is 45.5. This could be a fun game. I mean, you got two Russian quarterbacks. You know, obviously Marv out there doing Marv things. Connor just being like the most consistent back in football at the moment, somehow or another. And you have the
certain players this year just seem like they just hit the fountain of youth. I mean, players that I thought was washed.
I was
like,
very scared to draft Connor. Very scared.
I thought Connor was, I ain't gonna say washed, but I definitely think he was at the tail end of his career. Then you got Joe Mixon. I didn't know Joe. I thought he gave Cincinnati his all. Here he is. He's out here
jumping Joe Mixon over here. New life, man.
Hold my beer, my liquor, hold whatever. You know, I mean, and then Mike Evans before he got hurt, it was like, okay, Mike Evans should have been washed like 3 years ago. He's still doing it. So it's like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Connor's another one. It's like I thought Connor was done, but nope.
He runs so weird, man. He runs like in these super weird short strokes. I'm like, you run uncomfortable. Like that's how you run. You run uncomfortable. Like
he runs uncomfortable.
Like he runs like the first time he ever ran before. I'm like, what are you doing? Like that fucking. What do you? Oh, it's so weird. I don't know.
He do run like real high, and like certain runs like when you see Saquon, he's in the hole, and Saquon is like a one of those motorcycles that you get on and you get low and you just you take off. Yeah. That's how Saquon is. It's like he hit the hole, and he just leaned down and he's gone. But like you said, Connor's all high, goofy and shit, but he's doing it.
Connor is like on a scooter and shit, but he put like some Nas on it. Like that's how so strange.
He's getting it done.
He is getting it done. And somehow the Bears are too. Caleb is an interesting cat. It's very similar to how Kyler is. It's like really feast or famine, flip your coin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you know how I feel about Kyler, man. I got a little like bromance with him.
Yeah.
Still, once again, I mean, his stats are still I know, but his stats are still impressive, man. 11 tutties and 3 picks. That's nothing to scoff at. I mean, I know it's not a lot of tutties, but I'm like, the way he plays, you just kind of like, you sure you only have 3? Like, did they not count some? Like, it's weird, but they get it done. And I mean, Connor has 600 yards almost, 4 tutties. I mean, McBride is out here putting up 500 right now. Like I
was about to say. So Cardinals, you would start, of course, it's Kyler. You would start, of course, you would Marvin, Connor, and then McBride. Would you start any other receiver?
I mean, you can always take a shot at Wilson. I mean, I'm still sitting on. What's his name? Christ, what's his name?
Zay Jones. I thought you got rid of him.
Did I?
Yeah, I could have swore I've seen him on the wire.
Oh, I took
a look at him.
Yeah, never mind. Fuck him.
He just dismissed the man's production because he ain't on his team.
He didn't have any production. That's why he was dismissed.
No, but one sentence before that, you was like, maybe you could start. And then as soon as you was like, I said, you don't got him. He was like, oh, fuck him.
Fuck him. I mean, no. I mean, in all seriousness, yeah. I mean, he is that one player. I mean, but I don't know where he fits in on this offense. I don't know if he does, but
And in Chicago, you would start Caleb. You would start Swift.
no.
Any receiver, you wouldn't start Swift.
I
You're
mean,
crazy.
If you have
Swift
to,
is
yeah.
massively productive this year. Have you been watching? Have you been looking at his stats?
Lately, he has. All right, hold on. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, the first like 2 or 3 games, he was shitty. Yeah, I'll give you that. But after that, he's picked it up.
Yeah, I know he's come up here. So 454 and 4 tutties. What did I say Connor had here? Let me see here. Hold on. Let me go back.
What I was saying.
Yeah, it does. Oh, no. Well, Connor has about 100 more yards. 4 tutties. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it just seems like that the offense flows through Caleb, and yeah, I know.
What receiver? Like, do you trust any of the Bears receivers?
Is DJ Moore still healthy?
Yeah, DJ Moore's out there. Yeah.
Okay.
Keenan Allen's so boomer busty.
I, honest to God, keep forgetting he actually is still playing.
He's even there.
How little, and that's just such a crazy. Like you talk about a ball from grace, man. Like James Conner found his fountain of youth. Keenan Allen found. I don't even.
Prune juice.
He found a bottle of ketchup. Like I don't know what the influence is. I don't know.
Drinking old prune juice to make his bowels move and shit.
And it's crazy because they really like bulked up to like give Caleb weapons, and it's like Keenan Allen was a oopsie doozle.
That rookie, the Romo Dunze, he's too volatile. It's like 1 week he'll have a touchdown and score you 18 points. The next week he'll have 2 points. It's like I can't get on that roller coaster.
Ever been that way. He's always been that consistent player. But yeah, I think they're just very, very volatile. I don't know if they have a floor from a receiving standpoint. I mean, he throws a lot, but he runs a lot. And like the Cardinals are just such a not to be trusted kind of team, like because you really can't count on what's going to happen. They could score 40 or 10.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I don't know what you're going to need to do. I mean, obviously, you're definitely going to start. Caleb is absolutely going to do what he has to do. Like that is not a problem. Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to start a starting running back, even though Swift has been on a heater lately. I don't know. I think I feel like the beginning of the season is more what he is, not what he is now. So I don't know. Playing him would make me nervous, but also start running back that can catch the ball out of the backfield too. So yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Receivers. I mean, I feel like you always kind of have to start DJ Moore.
Yeah. Just because he's the de facto number one. So he's like,
yeah.
Kind of hard to sit down on number one.
Adunze is another coin flip.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I think you mistake me that I was talking about Keenan Allen, but I was saying Adunze is that he's too volatile. It's like 1 week he'll have 18, next week 2, next week 14, next week none. And it's like, which one is going to show up?
No, I knew you were talking about him. I just wanted to finish what I was saying about Keenan before.
Yeah.
I'm just shitty at talking sometimes. It's fine. Don't worry
about it. Yeah, like you said, in Keenan's previous career, like he was the guy. Like he was the dude. There was no volatileness at all when he was in San Diego.
He is where you actually had, like, that's where the fantasy floor verbiage came from. That it was based on Keenan. No, I'm not. That's not true. But I feel like you probably could say that with a straight face, and people would be like, "Oh yeah, no, I heard that before." Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, for about at least a 5 or 6 year window, Keenan Allen was one of the top 5 fantasy. His only problem was staying healthy. Like that was the only question marks you would say when you're getting ready to draft. Like, okay, Keenan Allen is a beast, but how many games is he going to miss? You know, it's like, oh man. But if he was playing, he was double-digit fantasy points like every week.
Yeah, absolutely. This should be the game of the week here. Lions and Packers. If Love plays and actually can play. Yeah, let me walk that back. That's probably not going to be the game of the week. If Love was healthy, it would be the game of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So Detroit is only actually a 2.5 point favorite. They're going into Wisconsin, so I get that.
Yeah, they're playing up this thing like Jared Goff's is an indoor cat. He can't play outside. I mean, that's funny. After 8 weeks, he hasn't played no games outside. This is his first game outside. So if that really is going to be a factor, I don't know. I mean, is Detroit going to look different outside? I don't know. Because, the running game goes anywhere. I mean, as they say, to win championships, a running game and a defense, you can pack them up and take them anywhere. So Detroit got that running game and that two-headed monster, a true two-headed monster, not a monster with not a big head and a small head. I mean, a true 2 big-headed monster. They're going to keep running. I mean, like, don't expect too much out of Goff in that passing game.
No.
I mean,
you're going to the same thing as last game. He threw like 10 times. He's not going to have to do that here. But yeah, I mean,
and you're going to get St. Brown in there for some chain movers. You get your 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, and you need to convert. It's going to be St. Brown, and then they're going to, and as soon as they get that first down, handing it right back off.
You talk about a bit of a bust pick. He was my number 1, and just I don't know, just not great, man. Not great. He
I mean, you're saying he's a bust, but it's not his fault who they play. I mean, if somebody would give Detroit a run for their money, then you would see all the passing you need to see. But Detroit's been blowing teams out 50, 40 every week, and the team isn't even competitive. So it's not his fault.
I get it. I guess, I mean, he's averaging about 10 yards per reception. He only has 408 receiving yards.
Think about his biggest game. His biggest game was against the Vikings, and they had to score because the Vikings had a good enough offense to keep up with them. And that was probably St. Brown's biggest game because they were matching each other, score for score, score for score. All right, you score. Okay, it's my turn. Okay, it's my turn. You know, I mean, it's like playing a game of Madden. Whoever has the ball last is probably going to win the game.
I mean, and that's the thing. If they weren't playing so good, like it's a weird thing. Like this, it's one of the few times where your receiver is really, really suffering because of it. Because you can pretty much run it every down if you really, really wanted to. Because you have 2 dynamic backs. It really does feel like, and I'm not making this comparison because these 2 are better than the other 2, but it just reminds us locally of like the Bettis Zaraway combo. You know, and I mean, obviously, and sorry Pittsburgh, but Monty and Gibbs are collectively
way better than Bettis and Zaraway,
but you know, just that lightning and thunder kind of
or
thing.
Even that, you know, back in that same era with Tennessee. Remember, it was what's his name? Johnson. What was
Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson and
like
Lindell White.
Murray? Oh, okay.
Lindell White. Remember they like called Smash and Dash, where they had that bruiser back, and then they had that one back that'll fly up and down the field.
Sometimes it just hits, and I guess that's what they try to do with Najee and Warren here. And I'm like, no,
it's just too slow. Yeah. I mean, he's been running a lot better the past couple games, but he's still just slower. He's still just slow and chooses the wrong hole a lot of times.
Yeah. Incoming joke because we're children. So look,
he's putting it in the belly button, not where it's supposed to go.
Right, and it doesn't go there, Johnny. Yeah. So look, kind of back on my idea of, um, what kind of game this can be. Uh, if Love is playing, it's such a hard thing. He's gonna have to pass, and he is gonna get fucking hurt. He's gonna get hurt. He just is. I'm sorry. Like I don't wish that upon him, but he's gonna get hurt.
To keep up with
Um,
Detroit, I don't care if they outside, inside. Yeah, there's no way you're gonna play the Malik Willis game with the Lions. Like that whole don't pass it 10 times a game and just run, 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 run. I mean, Josh Jacobs is not that good, so they gotta pass to be competitive. So,
and I just feel like it's going to be a lot of quick hitters. So I mean, and this isn't biased, but I think Reed is going to have a monster game because he's just going to production the hell out of him because he's going to have to. I don't think I don't know how he's going to look. His groin is busted up. Like I don't know how that. I don't know how many shots you're going to be able to take in your taint to like get you all ready to go for life, but like I don't know, man. You're right.
Put it this way, Love is not going to be chucking it down the field for 30, 40-yard bombs. It's going to be next to the line of scrimmage, 10, 15-yard little dumps. And, Reed excels in that.
Yeah.
Good luck picking any other Packers receiver, but Reed is your most consistent.
That's normally a roulette thing anyway, but especially now, it's like, oh God, man. I mean, Kraft could probably definitely have a good game here too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Tucker Kraft. Yeah.
But next, Rammers at the Seahawks. So Rams getting 1.5 here. Over under is 48.5. Puka had a scare in practice. Seems like he's okay, so that's
cool, seems like I don't know, but they're not slam dunking that he's going to play. They keep saying he should be okay. He avoided a long-term injury. I'm like, okay, but that's not really answering the question for this week. It's like, is he going to play, or are you saying he's okay? He's going to miss this week, but he'll be okay down the road. I'm like, I don't know if they really clearly answer that question. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't think they're going to really need him anyway this game. I mean, this is a DK list Seahawks team. Without DK, they're I mean, they still have other options, but they're not great options. But and it's funny, like almost you kind of wish DK would play for the Rams' sake from a fantasy standpoint, because anybody else right, like this is just gonna this feels like it's gonna be a very boring game, honestly. A lot of runs, you're gonna see a lot of 3rd and 2s. That's what I kind of feel here. I unfortunately have to play. I gotta play Stafford.
Me too. I got him in another league. I dropped Dak in one league because I'm tired of getting 1 point, 7 points, 3 points. I was like, let me pick up Stafford. As soon as I pick up Stafford, I get the scare from Nakua. I'm like, oh. And then now that you're talking about it, it's like, yeah, Seattle without DK, it's like, is Stafford really going to have to chuck the pill like that? It's like,
yeah, not much, man. I mean, he'll probably throw for about 200.
Yeah, Seattle, if your number one receiver is JSN, who's naturally a 2 or a 3, it's like, that changes everything.
Actually, their leading receiver is actually Tyler Lockett. 393.
Tyler Lockett's like 49 years old. And
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely Kyron. Kyron's going to eat.
Kyron's that same Josh Downs. He's that fat motherfucker at the table, arms up. He is going to eat.
Oh, man. Such a cool story, man. Good for him. Ken Walker, yeah. I mean, he catches it. I mean, I feel like Charbon is probably a solid play too because he's definitely the third down back. So, I mean, that's more like I feel like that's more of a deeper league kind of thing. Like if you're really kind of just looking for like an okay floor, but that's a gross game. So I don't want to talk about it anymore. So I'm not going to. Sunday night game. Colts at Vikings. Dude, thank God for Joe Flacco.
I was about to say that game just started.
When
the Sunday night game was on last week, I think it was Dallas and the Cowboys, and they was like, they showed a preview of the next week's game, and I was just like, it's gonna be great for Minnesota. I was like, it's terrible for the Colts. Soon as now I think about it, I mean, this might be the game. It's the game of the week. I mean,
you know what? That's actually a good read, man. That you're right. That actually this might oh yeah, actually it's gonna have to be because the Monday night game. If the players were there, it would have been. But yeah, this is probably going to be the real fun game. So Minnesota, that's an interesting line. They're getting 5.5, and the over under is 46.5. Okay.
I thought the over under would be like in the 50s.
I kind of figured that too, but Vikings, they do have a decent defense, so I get it. They're getting a little bit of credit for that, so that's fine. Look, Joe Flacco's in town. Every receiver, fire him up, get him in there. I will except Adonai. Don't play him yet. See what the hell he can actually do. I mean, I feel like Alec Pierce is a good play too because a dude can ball. Like he is annoyingly efficient. Josh Downs, this dude's about to go for 204 tutties. That dude is just so stupidly talented, so it's fun to kind of watch him play football. Michael Pittman, I don't know, man. I think everyone's just so cold on him just because it's like.
Anthony Richardson was cold on him, so it's like you don't know. I mean, but when Flacco was in, he wasn't going to him like he was going to Downs, but he at least realized that he was there. Like, oh yeah, I do
recognize his existence, is what you're saying. Like, oh, hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah. So I mean, like you said, outside of it, I mean, you can fire him up. You can fire up a lot of people in this. I mean, Minnesota, all of them. I mean,
JTT there. Get Taylor.
Yeah. You know, JTT. I think this is his first time playing with Flacco. Because every time Flacco was playing, I think Jonathan Taylor was hurt when Flacco was playing. And then when Taylor came back, Richardson was there.
I can't remember. Does Flacco ever really dump it off? Is he that guy?
Is he a dump off? No, Flacco's a risk taker. He goes down the field.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I don't think that really well, actually, no, it is going to
it just backs the defense up that they can't stack the box. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Like from a PPR standpoint, he's not going to benefit, but he could definitely. Yeah. Oh, that's so fun. It's so fucking. I feel so dirty. You know about feeling dirty? You feel like a horror thing. We're like, we're like, yo, hey, yay Flacco, and also yay Cleveland Browns, Jameis Winston. Like, what universe is this? What year is this? This is crazy. I saw a quote. I don't know if it was a real quote or somebody was just being silly, but people were like saying something about Jameis, and he's like, I didn't know Bruce Arians. Until he got LASIK, he was like, I thought Bruce Arians was black till 2019. Because I guess they're like making fun of him because, he had really bad games back then and all the interceptions and things like that. So he kind of just played into it. He's like, I thought Bruce Arians was black till 2019. I'm like, that shit is hilarious. Jameis, you were a national fucking treasure. And we've been saying that for years, dude. Jameis is a national fucking treasure.
Yes, he is. Gotta get a jersey, man. That
dude, is so much fun. And it's cool. And he's just like, he kind of reminds me of Fitzpatrick a little bit. Just goofy, off the wall, just
craziness.
He's just a kid playing the game he loves, and isn't that what you want this to be? Like, it's refreshing, and it's almost sad in a way because there's so few and far between. You got people that are just holding out, and it's just stupid. But another gross statement is Sam Darnold. You can start him.
Never thought I would be saying that.
God. I need an adult. It's weird. So weird.
But no, I mean those players, those quarterbacks that you hate seeing players being held down. It's like seeing somebody, tied up with a waist around, like with a belt around their band, and they're like trying to break out and they can't break out because this fucking quarterback is so terrible. And then when they get released and everybody is playing, it's a feel-good story. I mean, whether it's Cleveland or it's the Colts. I mean, it's like, okay, now all these players can break out. I mean, same thing. The Dolphins. It's like you seen Tyreek Hill and Waddle. It was like they was all bottled up in a jar, and they was just like trapped. And then
like you finally saw Hill smile, and like for like the first time in a month, you're like, "Oh, hey, buddy, how you doing?"
It's like trapped, like what is the not lantern flies? What are they called? The ones that glow. They call lightning bugs. Fireflies.
Lightning bugs. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they all trapped in a jar, and then as soon as Tua gets there, it's like he opened it up, and everybody come out, and the light shine, and they can
smash that bitch with a sledgehammer. He's like, "Get the fuck out!" None of y'all paid rent for the last 3 months. Get the fuck out.
He's happy. It's a feel good story to see these players break out because they've been trapped. So and somebody's
not do cardio at that point. You're like, I could do something other than cardio. Like that's what we're doing.
Pretty much those receivers in Cleveland, they were all trapped in Deshaun Watson's basement, like some trapped up whores that he came down Diddy. And abused. Yeah, strapped in Diddy's dungeon or some shit, and they finally broke
Diddy?
free. Yeah,
Deshaun Diddy. So Sam Darnold, yeah. JJ, come on. Addison's a real kind of weird question mark because you don't even know.
He's a boom. I didn't really realize it. I didn't really realize it
before this. He wasn't. He was reliable.
Okay, because I thought he was, and like this year he's a boomer bust. It's like one week he can have 20 points and 2 touchdowns, and next week he can have 2 receptions and get you 3 points. It's like
I think Hawkinson will help with that. I think Hawk will help. I think that'll give some more options. Give Addison more of a slot work. Get him more, some better looks. A little bit kind of intermediate routes because Hawk's probably going to be kind of those short little curl things, first down, possession receivers kind of things.
I mean, Addison was making me mad to the point where it's like you picked up the new dude Naylor. I'm like, man, he's getting more productive than Addison. I'm like, dang. I mean, like,
yeah.
So
I don't know, but
I don't know.
With JJ,
I can't sit him. I'll never sit him. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Aaron, get him.
Yeah.
Aaron. So yeah, this should be a real fun back and forth game. I swear, please, sweet Jesus, let it be a fun, good game. Thank God we got one Monday night game, not 2 of them. That's fun. Thank you. You got the Bucks at the Chiefs. Golly. All right, Chiefs are getting 9.5. Over under 45.5. I get it. Baker doesn't really have the weapons here. I understand that, but either does the Chiefs. Let's be real here.
Yeah. As a Jalen McMillan owner yourself, are you trotting him out?
I saw he popped up on the list of ouchies. Let me see what that was about here. Hold on. Yeah, so fucking hamstring, Christ almighty.
Oh. For a receiver, that not good.
Oh God. Yeah, he was limited with a hamstring because this popped up on Friday, which hammy on Friday is never fucking good.
No.
They're saying he's questionable for Monday's contest. And that's shitty because it is literally the Monday night game. So,
you You don't even have a pivot option. It's like
You really, really don't. Well, actually, I do. No, I don't. Oh, fuck. This is one of these things where let me do this in real time. Let me move him into my flex because I don't want to play that game. I want to have options to figure something out. Who knows? That's horseshit. Anywho.
Yeah, and that's one thing that people should know. I know they say this on other fantasy shows, but we want to say it on ours as well. When you do have a questionable player and you don't know whether you're going to play him or not, or you always put them in your flex, because that way you have options to pivot to a running back, a receiver, or even a tight end. Don't always, the players that you're definitely going to play, put them in the receiver, the actual designated receive running back positions, and then always leave your flex open. Don't play your flex on that question, on that, don't put your flex on that player that you're definitely surefire starting. Don't put them in your flex, put them in the design positions, and then leave your flex open for flex. It's for flexibility.
You need to have an option to play with. You cannot go in there with the hope that somehow or another everything's going to pan out, especially when it's that night game, because you're like, dude, I don't know what's going to happen, because you don't. You really, really don't. And looking even at these options.
Yeah, like what Chiefs or what Buccaneers do you have to pivot to if McMillan doesn't play?
I could tell you here.
What, my dude that I dropped the Tucker dude?
Like, if you're just looking at receivers, they have, on the waiver, Raheem Jarrett. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Me either.
They literally may have to, they got Marquez Callaway on that team still. Not still, but they have Marquez Callaway on there.
I didn't even know he was in the league. Steelers cut him. He was supposed to be. He was in Steeler camp. Cut his ass. We were supposed to have Marquez Callaway, and he couldn't make the cut. If you can't make the Steeler cut, not saying that the Steelers just accept anybody, but man, if you can't make that cut, you ain't gonna make too many cuts.
Sheesh. Yeah, I don't love it. Not thrilled with this. It is
what, a Chief? McCall Hardman?
Yeah, you know what we're gonna do? Right. Taysom Hill for the win. Let's go. Second week in a row, I'm starting 3 quarterbacks. It's fucking right, baby. Yeah, Kate Otten, understand, do not trust what Kate Otten did. Do not trust that.
So you don't think that was a victim? You thought that was just a tight end day touchdowns, or you don't think that's a preview of what's to come?
How many touchdowns did he score last week?
I think 2.
2? Are you sure? Or was it 3?
Could have swore it was only 2. I don't know. I don't think he had 3. But if he did, he had 3. But I'm just thinking, without the receivers, is Baker's number one dude going to be the tight end now? Or was that just a tight ends day thing? Or that was a typical K. Otten performance where he gets you all hyped up and then he let you down?
So if you take out the 81 yards he had last week and the 2 touchdowns, okay, he is at 280 yards and a touchdown
for the rest of the season. The other 7 weeks.
Yeah. Now I understand.
He was playing with receivers. Yeah,
I understand that, but this is also a situation where he is not the tight end. He is not the type of tight end that can circumnavigate that. He's not going to have the ability to say, okay, well, I'm now quote unquote the number one. I'm a Kelsey you. It's like, nah, you're not.
So he's not built like Brock Bowers, where the whole offense can run through him. He's a complementary player. He's not don't take over the entire.
He's gonna get his play, but it's not gonna be, like a, oh my god, wow, I am very happy I played you. Like, well, cool. But you're also a tight end, so kind of any production out of a tight end is like nice.
It's great.
Yeah, look, on the other side of the ball here, you could probably sit Patrick, to be fully honest with you. Well, actually, here, let me walk that back. So start the running backs there if you want. I don't know, Bucky or White. Who knows? They have that. It's a two-headed monster, but it's like a two-headed like puppy. You know what I mean? It's not,
it's not a monster. Yeah,
it's like a two-headed puppy. It's like you got me there. Oh, you
or a two-headed rabbit, little cute little bunny.
A little two-headed rabbit. There you go. It's like you're cute. Yeah, you're bub.
And it's a hot hand approach. It's not like there's equal dedication. It's like if whoever's running the best and they're going to stick with them. It's not like in Detroit's backfield. No matter how good Jahmyr Gibbs just ran down that very next drive, Monty's getting in the game. I mean, like no matter what.
You add Sean Tucker into it, then you have like a Cerberus situation. It's like, well, this sucks.
Tampa's backfield is terrible. But Chiefs side,
what is there? I mean, Kelsey and Hunt.
Yeah.
Like
what's the name? Hopkins is still not acclimated to the system. Worthy is volatile. It's like he's a boomer bust. He's like Addison. It's like 1 week he can get you all these points, and next week he can disappear.
They do some trick stuff with him though. So he does have that little Taysom Hill thing about him, but yeah, from a reliable standpoint, no, I don't want to. Even though I start him every week in the other league, but it's you're never like, okay, you're never playing him feeling great about it.
Yeah.
You kind of get hung up on the Mahomes name, but you could probably sit Mahomes. Well, there's actually a lot of games you could sit Mahomes. I feel like this is going to be one of them where you don't really want to play him. How useful is he really going to be? And it looks like it's supposed to rain there too. I don't know, man. Mahomes has been a bust this week.
He has. I'll still play him. Even in a 2-quarterback league, I would definitely play him. No matter what. But
I mean, he's definitely a player that before the deadline you could absolutely move him just on name value. Absolutely. I mean, if I had him, oh my god, I would. I don't know if I'd get a haul, but I would definitely get more because of his name. So
now the people you trading, I mean, you don't think they have the same view as somebody? You just say somebody's gonna hook right on that name and just like go.
Well, that's why you pick the idiots in the league to trade with. No, you pick your spots here. You kind of play up the name a little bit. You kind of do it. Oh, hold on, something came through here. Okay, Tank Bigsby is looking to play, so that's mildly encouraging for the Jaguars. So they're gonna lose by not as much anymore. Great.
Tank is not a player that you would play because Tank Bigsby is not. He doesn't catch receptions. He's just a strictly running back, and the game script is not going to allow him to be productive.
No, but he's going to get more play, though, because they're not going to trot ETN out there in his full ETN kind of workload. So they'll be like, well, Tank, I know you don't really like catching patches, but, do that because reasons.
Maybe they can find out if he does, because this is definitely going to be a game script where Jacksonville's playing from behind, and they are not going to just line up, just run it down your throat. They got to pass it to get down the field.
Yeah. but yeah, Chiefs. I if all these players, like if McMillan doesn't play, not to say McMillan is like the linchpin here, but he is a receiver with a name. So, boy, this might be a game that you just want to almost stay away from, except if you have Hunt. Like, I'm not thrilled to play Kelsey because it's like, I don't know, man. How much are you gonna chuck? Like, 15 passes this game, maybe. Like, I don't. Like, what do you think you're really gonna have to do? You're gonna kill Hunt. I mean, Hunt's gonna literally drop dead at the end of the game. I mean, you almost, I don't know, you almost kind of wonder, like, could you get in that Steele kid? You know, is that like a sneaky little, deeper league flex play kind of thing? You know, I mean, I don't have the balls to do that. I'm definitely not doing that.
I doubt it. Yeah, ever since Hunt fully took over, everybody else is getting complimentary snaps. A snap here, snap there. P. Ryan, Steele, they're not getting enough to warrant trotting them out there to start. Unless you like getting 4 or 5 points a game.
I'm just saying, like, game script wise, like
like they're blowing them out and they want to get some.
And I don't even know if that's gonna be like this is gonna be a shitty game. I don't want to be a part of it.
It's hard.
So
to
I think I'm because I don't have anybody from. Well, fuck, I do have Kelsey. God, oh god. Okay.
You tiring yourself up thinking about it?
I mean, yeah, and it sucks because it's the Monday game, so you have to make a decision before. Yeah, this is real life tilt here, boys and girls. That's kind of. But yeah, those are the matchups here, kiddos. Some good, some bad. See some interesting things, but yeah. Who's on bye? Steelers and
49ers.
49ers, yeah.
That's it. Just 2 buys. And then watch next week or the week after. It's going to be like 6 teams on the bye.
Yeah, I didn't look, and I'm not going to look till.
Yeah, I'm going to just let it happen.
So we can be
surprised.
Like, yeah, right. Like, hey, surprise, no one's playing ever. Everyone quit. But yeah, good stuff. I know we ran a little late. I know we started earlier. So funny enough, we actually are ending when we would have started. So that's how that worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But appreciate the folks that popped in here. This is another reason why we don't want to do these on Saturdays either, because there's college football. Folks are not really tuning in real time.
Yeah.
And I get that. Like, we understand our role in the universe here, but I appreciate you popping in. The Nun does, Jermaine does, Pennywise does. He'll see you later. We're gonna get out of here, and good luck tomorrow. And yeah, that's really about it. I don't really have anything better to say, but
darken it down so we can see Pennywise a little bit better.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
Grim. There you go. Him and his wife. There you go.
Yeah. We'll see y'all tonight.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Appreciate y'all.
I don't.